everyone, welcome back to Manatee Local. We're going to take a first look at the 2026 races since it's September 2025, and we're actually under a year away from the primaries. We're going to stay focused mainly on the local races, not so much at the state and federal, but we are going to look at the state delegation here for Manatee County because those are actually very important. So stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so I've made a little presentation here for our first look, and the primary election occurs in August of 2026. It's going to be August 18th, and the last date for voters to register is going to be July 20th because there's a certain amount of time before the election that you have a deadline for registration. And the deadline for mail-in ballots is going to be August 6th of 2026, and the voter registration is July 20th. Now for the general election, it's going to be on November 3rd of 2026 for the midterm election, and voter registration is going to be October 5th, and October 22nd is the deadline for mail-in ballot requests. Now, a couple years ago, because there was a lot of hostility toward mail-in ballots in the Republican Party, they changed the laws regarding vote by mail, and now you have to request a ballot every single election. So there's an election this year for some of the municipalities. Those people would have to request their ballots early, and every year, basically, you're going to have to ask for a new vote by mail ballot. It's just one of the controls they put in for additional safety. Is it kind of a pain? Yes. Is it insurmountable? No. So let's do what we can. And if you want to vote by mail, make sure you get your ballot registration in so that you can get your mail-in ballot. All right, so just really quickly, we have a number of state offices that are up for election. I'm not really going to talk about the governor's races, but the governor and lieutenant governor, the attorney general, and a bunch of other important positions at the top are open, but the one that we really focus on the most is the governor. Okay? But local to us here in Manatee County, the delegation that we send to the state legislature, this is actually very important. Okay, so we have in the State Senate District 20, Jim Boyd, who's the incumbent, and District 22, there actually is no incumbent running because the incumbent is actually running for the CFO, Joe Gruters. So that's an open race. But who's running for these? Pay attention. Okay, State House, these are a little bit more competitive. District 70, Michael Owen is the incumbent. District 71, there is an open race again because the incumbent Will Robinson is term limited, so he can't run again for this seat. And the incumbent for District 72 is William Bill Connerly in East County. Municipalities, we've got the city of Anna Maria, mayor and 2 of the commissioner seats are up, and also that's the same for the city of Holmes Beach, and the city of Bradenton Beach only has 2 of the commissioner seats open for wards 2 and 4. Now we've got locally, there are actually a number of seats that are open for election in 2026, but I'm not going to list most of them. You can see them all on the Supervisor of Elections website, votemanatee.gov. It used to be votemanatee.com, and there may be a redirect there, but it's votemanatee.gov. This is one of the changes that James Satcher made when he was the Supervisor of Elections. Okay. So, but notable local races are going to be the county commission seats. We've got 3 of the even numbered county commission districts open for running. District 2, Amanda Ballard is the incumbent. District 4, Mike Ron is the incumbent. And District 6, at large, which is for the whole county, Jason Bearden is the incumbent. Now remember, we have 2 at-large positions. One is District 7, which Commissioner George Cruz occupies, and he just got reelected last cycle, and now it's District 6 turn. Okay, and then there's some school board races. We have Cindy Spray for District 2. District 4 is Chad Choate, and District 5 is actually an open race because it shouldn't have been available this year, but it is because Richard Tatum had resigned his seat to run for House District 72 last cycle, and therefore this is a special election to fill out that seat for the remainder of that term. Okay, we're going to go to the Supervisor of Election website here. As you can see, Scott Farrington, Supervisor of Election, votemanatee.gov, not .com. and we go to candidate information to find the information on the different races. Now, local candidates and committees is where we will go for the local races, and the state delegation and the federal one for the House district of Vern Buchanan are in the federal and state section. So I'm going to do the local candidates and committees first. I actually have that tab open right here. So what you do is you click on that, and then we can choose which election we want. There's municipal elections and the county elections. I'll do the municipal ones first because almost nobody has filed. The only person that has filed is actually in the city of Palmetto, Ward 2. Sunshine Joyner has filed to run. There's no money here yet, and Sunshine Joyner is the incumbent. Okay. Go to the county races. Okay, so for the county races, we've got for District 2, Shavonda Griffin. She's an NPA, so she's not running under a Democrat or Republican or any kind of party affiliation. And she's gotten $25 of contributions. You go, Shavonda, keep up your fundraising. Okay. Commission District 4, well, this is interesting. So Melton Little had filed to run for this seat. He's a local attorney, but he withdrew his candidacy for this seat. Actually, he has filed to run in a different seat, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. Oh, notice that he's running as a Republican now. Okay. County Commission District 6 at large. There is somebody here that's running for District 6. This is Edward Ferenc. He's running as a Republican. No money yet, but I did a little digging, and Mr. Ferenc is actually a former county employee. He used to work in the utilities department. So that is an interesting twist there. I'm curious to see more about Mr. Ferenc. So let's see what we can find about him. Okay, Mr. Ferenc. Okay. He says, my name is Ed Ferenc. I'm running for Manatee County Commission, District 6. I was born and raised right here in Manatee County, and I've spent more than 30 years serving this community through Manatee County Utilities. I started out working in the field and worked my way up through the ranks with determination, hard work, and a willingness to learn from my predecessors in the department. I never went to college, but I like to say I earned a master's degree in common sense by solving problems firsthand, side by side with the people of this county. Over the years, people have come to know me for being loyal, fair, and steady. I don't believe in empty promises. I believe in real solutions that make life better for our neighbors. My word is my bond, and I've always tried to lead with honesty and accountability, whether working with colleagues, contractors, or the people we serve. My Baptist faith has shaped my life, and I try to live out the values of service, humility, and integrity every day. I'm an outdoorsman at heart. I love fishing, hunting, and enjoying the natural beauty of the outdoors. I'm not a career politician. I'm your neighbor, a friend, a hardworking man, a man of faith, and a lifelong resident of Manatee County. I'm backed by my family, friends, and the people of this county. My family's roots in Manatee County run deep. My wife and I both come from families that have lived here from generations. Manatee County isn't just where I live, it's who I am. Okay? All right, so there's no financial reports. You're not going to be obligated to do any just yet. The reporting periods are much, much farther apart this early out. Let's see here. I should do this for Miss Shavonda. Let's see what she said about herself. I'm sorry, I forgot that we could look at this. All right, Shavonda Griffin. There she is. Look at her. Okay. Oh, she's got some artwork here. And okay. Let's read this. Shavonda, I hope I'm not butchering this, Shar Griffin, or Sharae Griffin, a lifelong resident of the Minnesota area, is a humanitarian, minister, youth organizer, educator, entrepreneur, poet, author, inventor, and so much more. She's a graduate of Palmetto High School in 1997, a graduate of Manatee Community College, aka now State College of Florida, with an associate's degree in social work, as president of Active Concern Team Incorporated, Act Now, Billionaire Babies Academy Incorporated, and more. Ms. Griffin worked to instill the philosophy that there are no limits for someone who tries their best and gives their all, to look beyond what is perceived and to think outside the box. She's been active in the community for over 20 years, starting many community organizations such as Youth of Empowerment back in 2003 and Active Concern Citizens Incorporated in 2007, Billionaire Babies Academy Incorporated in 2024, and receiving praise, honor, and awards for her numerous efforts, winning a Hometown Hero Award from the Henry Lawrence Foundation in February 2010, a humanitarian award presented at the Unsung Hero Awards hosted by Wayne Washington, held May 2010, and Unsung Heroine Award from the Manatee County Branch NAACP in 2012. Shavonda worked as a state of Florida representative for the Warren Foundation from 2006 to 2009. Her duties were to set up after-school programs to help at-risk children at Title I schools throughout the state. She advanced the program to the next level and added a curriculum to enhance the mindset of the youth and instructors. Mr. Warren was so impressed by the improvements of the program that he implemented the same curriculum requirements to the other 4 states as well. As a poet and author, in November 2005, Shavonda hosted open mic night at Sax's Jazz Club in downtown Sarasota, allowing many local talents to come and express themselves through poetry and storytelling, as well as through visual and performance art. She wrote and published her first book of poetry in 2009. However, Ms. Griffin's participation in the community is not just limited to work with her own organization and community projects. She has participated in other numerous community functions and events, such as speaking at the NAACP election event, participating in the Sarasota Easter parades, participating in Manatee and Sarasota's Juneteenth events, both organizing and participating in the Juneteenth event held in Rubonia, Florida, taking first prize for her poetry at the Manatee County Slam Poetry Contest in 2005 in the adult category, as well as speaking on several occasions at Manatee Community College, aka now known as State College of Florida, and so on. She took her works to not just dealing with the youth in the community, particularly those with little to no adult supervision or family support, and those considered to be at risk, to changing the position and working with their parents as well. In 2012, she started her own cleaning business to provide an uplifting outlet for individuals that needed a second chance at rebuilding their lives with greater respect and income. She taught individuals how to revive their credit and later become a realtor so that she could take them from renting to becoming homeowners. She obtained her insurance license as a means to provide the full package that individuals need to develop a whole life plan with everything included. Shavonda is a devoted minister as the Shepherd for God is Real Ministries in Palmetto, Florida. Her story is still being written, and she's on another chapter that is yet to unfold. Helping to make communities a better place for individuals to live in, her mission is to instill the philosophy, without God, there is nothing. With God, you are and can accomplish anything. So this is her statement that she put together, and all the candidates, when they file, can actually do this. I'm not going to read all of these, but I was curious because I hadn't seen it before. Okay, so this is pretty good. These are the incumbents that have filed, and then the open races for the school boards. Okay, so Cindy Sprague has filed for District 2 in the school board. Chad Choate has filed in District 4 for the school board, and the members here, the candidates here for District 5, Reverend Golden, who has served before, and Jonathan Mullis have filed. Jonathan Mullis is the leader so far in fundraising with $3,000. I haven't looked at the financials, but maybe it's his money. We'll see. And Nancy Sanders had filed, but she has withdrawn. So those are the current candidates for the county commission and the school board races. Now, I don't really worry about the incumbents filing because I expect them to. They already have an established apparatus to work. They have teams and they have consultants. I assume they do. And they're going to be fine. It's the people that haven't filed yet for some of these races that I'm more concerned about. And I would like to see a healthy competition in this space. It's important for us to have good candidates and to not vote blindly just based on party affiliation. Even inside the party, you can get very bad apples. And that's more evident in the races that I'm going to talk about now. So we're going to go to the federal and state page here. When you go into the Supervisor of Elections and go to federal and state candidates, you're going to get a listing of candidates from the state here. I had already limited it to Manatee County when you specified the candidate listing for the general election. So these are all that's going to be on our ballots here. I'm going to ignore the United States Senator, U.S. Representative, and actually, I'm not going to ignore that really quickly. Note, there is going to be a Democratic primary between Glenn Pearson, who ran last time in District 1, versus Jan Schneider, who has been a recurring candidate, and she's a well-known quantity. So that's going to be an interesting race there. Keith Varian has entered as an NPA, and so there's definitely going to be some competition here for House District 16 for the federal United States Congress. Okay, all right. Governor, I'm not getting into that race. There's the Attorney General, CFO. You can see Joe Guter's running in there. Commissioner of Agriculture. There's only one candidate declared, but you can be certain that the incumbent will probably file. They just haven't done it yet. But here we go. Manatee County, State Senator, District 20 and District 22. A little corner of 22 is in Manatee County. So we have Jim Boyd, who covers most of Manatee County, and a portion of it is James Buchanan, son of Vern Buchanan. Note that there are no challengers to either of these people. We need some talented professionals to step up and run, both as Republicans in the primary and also some Democrats, because we cannot and should not have uncontested races here. I don't believe in that. Generally speaking, as a principle, I myself, I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I hate both parties actually, but this is wrong. I really hope that this is not the final status of these races. My friend David Daniels, he is a lovely person, and he started working on making people aware of Jim Boyd. And hold on a second, let me find this right now. All right, so David, God bless his soul, he's been making these signs similar to the ones he did for Kevin Van Ossenbridge, saying, hell no, Jim Boyd, developer owned. And oh boy, we need that. We need that energy. The problem is we also need someone to run against Jim Boyd in the Republican primary, and if he gets through the Republican primary, and on just either NPA, Democrat, any party, just somebody needs to challenge Jim Boyd. Okay, we can't just have nobody opposing Jim Boyd. There needs to be opposition to Jim Boyd. Okay, so unfortunately, David said he's had 3 more signs taken from his yard. Hopefully it's somebody that's putting them up, but if not, he's got plenty of signs. And people need to be aware that Jim Boyd is a developer tool, and Jim Boyd is not voting in the best interest of his constituents. Same thing goes for James Buchanan. Same thing goes for the entire delegation. They all voted for Senate Bill 180 and whatever, it's House Companion, and they basically screwed us in our ability to protect our wetlands and rural development and home rule. Okay, I did a video about Senate Bill 180. It's my 454 podcast, episode 3. Yeah, I know it's months late, but I'm getting there. But yeah, I will link that over here, and we will get you a link there. But Senate Bill 180 is extremely destructive. It's a Trojan horse for developers to steamroll over county commissions and take away the authority of county commissions to regulate rural development, because the rules that the county commissions want to enforce may be more restrictive than the rules as of August of last year when the hurricanes came through. Now, this law is being challenged, but the problem is that nobody pays attention to the state races. Very few people pay attention to these races, and so we get really garbage individuals that are voting against our interests. Now, after the election last cycle, I did say that it was an absolute shame that Will Robinson did not pay a price for instituting that OPPAGA study to look at consolidating the island cities into Manatee County or the city of Bradenton. Why didn't he pay any price? He paid only a very slim marginal price because people are not paying attention. People have to educate their neighbors, like David is doing right here. No to Will Robinson. Unfortunately, fortunately, he's gone from the House, but we need to make sure that whoever takes that seat cares about Manatee County, cares about our rural development, and is not going to go along and vote with these developers to take away our power to make sensible decisions. Okay? So hell no to Jim Boyd. Hell no. I might use a little bit stronger language, but hell no, it works for me. Hell no to Bill Connerly. Hell no to every single one of these people that voted for this bill. No, no, no. We have to evaluate people based on policy, not tribal loyalty. Don't let the label turn off your brain. Now, what happened with House Race 72 last year was kind of sad. Maybe there were too many candidates running. Bill Connolly won in a plurality. He didn't win, well, at least in the primary. He won in a plurality in the primary. He didn't win a majority by any stretch of the imagination. There were 4 candidates running. Maybe one of them should have dropped out. But we need good people to run against Bill Connolly. Good people. Get up there, run. If you've got some name recognition in the community, stand up and run. Get your team together. Get people who will help you make a good run of it. Okay? There are people out there that are willing to help, but you've got to start, and you've got to start now. Okay? Thank goodness some people have signed up to run for House District 71, but 70 and 72, okay, well, let's take a look. Hang on. Okay, so 70 has nobody challenging the incumbent. 72, there's actually somebody that is challenging Bill Connolly. But let's see here. John Phillips III. I'm going to look at 72 first before I talk about 71. So John Phillips III, Republican. Okay, he actually has a Bradenton address, and he's his candidate. So this is great. He just filed on August 26th. There's no campaign activity, but at least we've got somebody. John Phillips III. John Phillips, let's hear from you. I want to hear what you're about. I want to know what you stand for. Contact me if you see this. I'm really curious to know about where you stand. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for running. Okay, 71 is where the action is. So we're going to have a Republican primary that's active. Melton Little, I told you, is running in District 4, or he was running in District 4 for the County Commission, but then switched to run for House District 71 as a Republican. Now, Melton Little is local attorney. There's a bit of interesting history there, but Mr. Little used to be a Democrat, but now he has switched over to a Republican. He said that he's basically been a conservative Democrat his whole time, like what they call blue dog Democrats in the federal level. So, I mean, from my standpoint, there's not much difference between conservative Democrats and Republicans, so it's not that bad of a fit. What does Mr. Little stand for here? We are going to find out, aren't we? Okay. Kristen Trong, she is the wife of Commissioner Tal Siddiq. She's running. And then there's Jordan Varnador. Now, I wish that this page had as much information as the ones that we saw for Miss Shavonda Griffin and for Mr. Ferencz, because there's nothing here. Jordan Varnador, if you see this, I'd love to talk to you. I want to find out what you're about too. But I also noticed this. His address is in Tallahassee, so he's got a consultant. So does Kristen, by the way. So that's not anything there. But having professional help is good. But tells you it's the first sign of whether or not who's grassroots, right? We know Kristen; she's a known quantity. Her husband, we know them, and it's good to have professional help. But we need to look a little bit more into some of these consultants and see who they're connected to. Now, Kathy Antunes does a great job at tracing all of these consulting agencies so that she following the money. But this name, Rich Heitmeyer, is not familiar to me. But you know what? We're going to find out. We're going to do a little bit more digging in the future to find out more about these consultants that are being used and to get a better idea, maybe, if there's something to be gleaned from the consultant as to the positions of the candidates. But knowing Tal and Kristen, that's a different thing. Kristen, I know her personally, and I'm not very worried. But like I said, professional help is good. But sometimes, like Anthony Pedicini, they're a signal of where the money is coming from. But I don't know Mr. Heitmeyer, and we're going to take a look. Okay, all right. Okay, now we also have Marie Masfer as the Democrat running in the race for House District 71. Marie Masfer is local, and she's married to Mark Masfer, the local journalist of the Bradenton Journal. And so it's nice to have somebody that is another known quantity, somebody that is local to us here. And she's got her own address here for the campaign, and the campaign treasurer is somebody local here. So probably just somebody, I don't know anything about it, but I don't want to assume too much, but they're local here to Bradenton, to Manatee County. So that's good. So nice, healthy competition in District 71. We need to see more of that for District 70 because nobody's filed there, and District 72 probably could use a little bit more competition there too, but not too much. Okay, but I'd love to hear from the folks that have filed. I want to know where people stand on Senate Bill 180 and the other issues that are most pressing to us about rural development. And, that's what we need to vote on. We need to vote on policy, not on tribal loyalty, not on culture war BS that our county commission and local folks are not going to have any say on, okay? Policy. What's the most important thing? This is the thing that should unite us. What is going to make sure our community stays healthy, that it isn't going to destroy our environment, that's going to put our clean water at risk, that's going to put our finances at risk? Because that clean water thing, I brought it up last time, whenever we have to hook up to the Peace River to provide water, that's going to be probably $1 billion by the time that happens. Not fiscally responsible. So let's vote for people who are for smart and restrained growth and conserving more of our land in Manatee County. Okay, so that all being said, it is time to run. You have less than 1 year if you're going to run as a Republican or as a Democrat in a competitive race, because this time is running out. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, time is running out. Okay, you have less than a year now to start building a team to help you. You have less than a year now to start fundraising, which is extremely important. You need to start fundraising yesterday, or actually 9 months ago. You should have started at the beginning of the year if you're serious about it. Time to make your decision, because I've heard that there are some people that are interested in running in some of these races. It is time to make the decision to file and get off your butt and go. If you're going to do it, do it. Okay? Don't wait any longer. You're losing time. You need time to build name recognition, because that actually helps a lot. Okay? The incumbents come in with a big advantage because people know who they are, or at least they've heard of them. All the people that only marginally pay attention to politics, they will probably vote for the incumbent because they've heard the name before. Or not all of them, but many of them will. Okay? You need time to build name recognition. You need time to collect the petitions. Now, for the county commission, you can do it if you've got a good, dedicated team. But if you don't have a whole lot of support, you need as much time as possible to collect the petitions necessary, or else you're going to have to pay the fee. And that's like, well, for a single district, it's $6,000 last time. It's probably more because they've probably gotten a bigger pay raise, maybe, but somewhere in the ballpark of at least $6,000 that you're going to have to pay in order to run for county commission. It's even more if you want to run at large. That's a very, very big amount of money. Why would you want to burn that much money just to pay to the Supervisor of Elections? No, you need time to gather people and go to events and collect those petitions. Qualifying by petition is the best way in order to, one, get your name out there, and two, get these darn petitions so that you don't have to pay the fee. Okay? Get it out there. So please, if you're interested in running and you've got good credentials, you're active in the community, people know who you are interested in preserving the natural beauty of Manatee County, file. Get your team together, file. If you have questions about what it's like to run a campaign, ask somebody that has run before. There are people that have run before that maybe you should consider running again because people know your name. They've seen your name. Okay? Especially in those state seats. We need people to run in those state seats. So make it competitive. Don't let people like Jim Boyd or James Buchanan get away with no competition. We cannot afford it. We literally cannot afford it. We need better people in those seats. We need better Republicans in those seats. We need better Democrats in those seats. Okay? Not that we have any in there currently, but we can do better than what we have in those seats. Okay? So, time to run, time to make a plan, time to start collecting the things that you need in order to qualify by petition. Okay? So, that's where we are for September of 2025. I'll be back and I'll probably do this again at the end of the year to see who's filed and give another roundup. That way it gives people time to make that decision and file and hopefully to God, start running. I hope they don't wait until January. You need to start now. 3 months is a big deal. There are a lot of events that'll be going on where you can be collecting petitions. Lots of winter events where you can go out and go collect some petitions. Okay? Don't wait that long. Do not wait until January. Do not wait until the new year. Get your stuff together. And please, please file and let's get going. Thank you for coming and thank you for being here. If you've subscribed, thanks so much. And I'm going to ask you, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, share this video, and if you know somebody that would be a good candidate and isn't too bogged down with personal circumstances, ask them to run, help them to run, learn how to run. There are resources out there that will help you to learn how to run for office. We need more regular people running for office, people that are in touch with the local community and not bought out by developers. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.